Nau mai haere mai e te whānau ki roto I tēnei whare karakia o tātou. He mihi nui kia koutou I tēnei ahi pō. Mō tēnei wā, tēnei hui whakahirahira, ki te whakanui ngā kaumātua no Samoa, no Aotearoa tonu. Nō reira he mihi nui tēnei mai te tangata whenua, ngā iwi o te whanganui ātara, tātou e tangi nei, e tautoko nei I ngā mahi o tēnei rā. Kia ora, my name is Huhana Linden and I am from Taitokero, Northland. I am a Green Party MP alongside my colleague Teanau Tuiono and my daughters come from Saoniatu and Iwa Savai. I have beautiful Taine Samoa and I am the Maoli of the whānau. So I am mihi to you as a daughter of the North, but as a humble in-law of Samoan families, the Ainga. And I am so grateful for the opportunity on behalf of the Māori people of Tangata Whenua to greet you this morning, this afternoon, this evening. It was quite emotional being in the house, hearing the waiata, our songs, but also the speeches from across the house from our colleagues from all the parties that support what has happened today. And within my family, we also have elders, kaumātua, who were impacted by the legislation. So as I shed a tear in the house, it was for my nani awhenga and all of the elders of our communities and ainga who have been impacted but now have the opportunity to come into the whānau as you have always been a part of our ainga of Aotearoa. I will now pass the time over to Samu, who will be our MC for the evening. Engari, ka nui te mihi aroha kia koutou I tēnei wā. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.
Thank you, Huhana. Now I'd like to take this time to invite Father Michael Enderman to begin our formalities with a prayer and to also bless the food.
Thank you, Samu. Samoa, o le aso le fia, o le aso le viinga, o le aso le whawhitai. Ai o maia, tātou wō I le atua. Tātou awe le whaamua ma le whaasangi. I le na whaia I tātou. Au wau o mawalunga, ma matanga o fie mea o I whaemu I tātou ni aso. Tātou si whaatasi le fōle man malo ke riso. I le suafo le tamaa ma le alo, ma le anganga pa ia. I le atua, le nata, tau tupua, I na wan, na lofa fua, ia te ita, tau mane, ia pepe se, Alleluia fa feta, ia pepe se, Alleluia fa feta. whawheta. Ele anganga le fesoas animai. Emanu aitalosana atoa o mamea efai. Ya pepese, ya pepese. Alleluia fafeta. Ya pepe. Alleluia fafeta. Moia ina mua. Salamo se lau se fumu le fitu. Bivi atu ye leli o to onu e se umalava. Whanene atu ye ya te o tou tangata umalava. Aua ua tele lava lo na lofa mai ya te itatou. Ole whamaoni fo yo le ali, e whavavau lava, amene. Ole vinga i le tamama le alu, ma le anganga pa ia. E peiolo na vinga saile amatanga. E whape foi o na ponei, maso mai le whavavau, lava amene. O le aso le whawhitai, o le aso le vi inga, o le aso fia, awa o le toe pose lilo, i whamanuianga le atua ia ti oi Samoa ni aso. O lau pule lea le atua. Whawhitai, a wā ua mālie, le papa i ngala. Ua mālie fo i le papa whaatotolonga atama. Ina ua whao le wao mala, e mo le uila le lei, ma ua tō manu, a wā o lau file mu, ou malunga papa ma paia anga o lo wanganga paia. Sa tai fo lau ma whaasino ala le atua. Wā ein manuia le whaatautainga ma le whaamoe sa lupe sa moa. Lau pule le atua. Ua malie o, ua malie malo. May I take this opportunity to say, whawhitai te re lava. Your Honourable Teanau Tuyono and the Green Party and your leaders, we thank you for your fellowship and for your leadership and your love for Samoa. We thank you for honoring your good friend and a son of us, the late Honorable Efeso Collins. Through this bill, you are making history for our Pacific Island people. As this was never achieved before, we thank you. To our Prime Minister, our Deputy Prime Minister, Lawa Fionga Vavasa Manaya, Winston Peters, members of the Parliament of New Zealand, and of all the parties and the Cabinet, we thank you for your support. Whawhetai, whawhetai te lava. We remember those who would have benefited from this citizenship, those who have been called home to our Lord. May they rest in peace, and may perpetual light shine upon them. I le tātou mawhitanga le tawhatoru, i le mamalu lau whaingaluenga a le atua, ma o tau wharetua. I so se whata whaitaulanga, whamalo te talo, whamalo te tapuai, whamalo le whai mea mwhai. Lau whetalainga le nuenga tere aipuni, ma le mamalo le pila wha, whawhetai, whamalo lo tonu, ma le alofo i le atunu. Le ngata i leo i lātou umo ta māli mwhai launga o Samoa, sa ngaru lue puno wai, a wasa sa ilinga ai mo Samoa. Sunga i le. Whai lau tusi o le. Whono whautua Samoa, whiunga le ataua, sarua tu ua Samoa, mo o kilani. Ma le mamalu le mawhitanga whautua, whono whautua, whawhetai. Ai le ngata i lea, whawhetai lau tapua inga, lau a whiunga, hai komsina Samoa, a whamasanga. Whawhetai tele lau lo tonu. Whawhetai lo to whai whanau ia mātou, i tātou mawhitanga. Le ngata i leo le, sio mātou tamā, le a whiunga le konsula ia, salue, paru salue, a whemata paru salue. Leo whiunga nai, mā lor tau al tau, i lātou umasanga lue mo Samoa, whawhetai. Whawhetai tapuai, whawhetai talo, whawhetai lango i mamalo o Samoa, o poto mai lātou lo tapuai mai, i so se tafa o le kineke lope. Ta māma tina mātutua, alo ma whanau, o pali ta oto le whaepo. Le ari ie, ia awalawani a te i mātou, a ia te oe le vi inga ma le whawhetai, ona o mea sili wa e whaia mo i mātou. Ia i lunga ia te tātou malawa, whamanuianga le atua o le ona na mana uma. I le suafo le tamā ma le alo, ma le anganga pa ia. Amen. Mua ia ina mua, mua o, mua
Whawhetai, Father Michael, thank you for setting the scene for our formalities today. I'd just like to take this time on behalf of Teanau Tuiono and the Green Party to give special acknowledgements to the Dean of this beautiful place where we're gathered here today. Can I see her? She's not here. Anyway, special acknowledgements to her. Further special acknowledgements to our Deputy Prime Minister, Vau Wasama and I, Right Honourable Winston Peters. Thank you for making the time. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here with us and with the Samoan community. I'm sure, as you can imagine, they really appreciate it. Thank you. And to all the other dignitaries, special mention to the High Commissioner of Samoa to New Zealand, His Excellency Afamasanga Tole Afoa. Thank you on behalf of Teanau and the Green Party for your support since your tenure on this matter. We look forward to continue working with you with other matters to come. Thank you. I'd just like to take this time now to call up the author of our bill, Teanau Tuiono, to address the crowd. He will also give the opportunity to other MPs as he sees fit to address. Just a reminder, MPs, you are due back in the House, so I don't want you to get in trouble. Keep our speeches short, and the food is still warm, so we want to keep it warm. Thank you so much. Teanau Tuiono.
Kia ora na koutou katoa tō te arora nui o te atua talofa lava, malo lelei, whakalofa lai atu, Motolosi, Bula Manaka. Warm Pacific greetings, everyone. Everything's been said in the House, but if I can reinforce one thing from my perspective is that it has been an honour and a privilege, a humbling privilege to walk with you in the journey of this bill. And I know that for many of you, this journey has been decades in the making. And I want to acknowledge your continued struggle for Pasifika justice, for equality and reconciliation. And so, whawhatai tele lava. What we have here tonight in this wonderful cathedral is a way for us as parliamentarians to share with you the celebration of the passing of this bill. Parliament is your house, and we are your representatives in the House of Parliament. And it is so important to note that the achievement of your advocacy and getting unanimous support across the House. That is what you have done as a community, and I acknowledge you for that. The way that you reached out and talked and communicated with different political parties. And so I honour and pay my respects to all of you. I pay my respects to this place and acknowledge our whaiwheao who opened us up in a good way, acknowledging that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience here, and how wonderful it is to be in this place. To my parliamentary colleagues, Vavaso Manaya, Right Honourable Winston Peters, thank you for your advocacy. I know for myself and the Honourable Jenny Salesa, we spent some time talking with you. And as we were walking in, he did say, sometimes cross-party stuff can happen. It can work if we put some effort into it. So I do want to acknowledge your contribution and noting that of all of us members of Parliament, you would have the longest memory of what happened in 1982, and I think that it's important to acknowledge that. And also my colleagues from the Labour Party who I've been working with for some time. And I think we've got a number of them here as well, and to also continue to acknowledge the role of Lemonga Lydia Sosene, who is, I'm sure we will always continue to share with her our thoughts and prayers for her healthy recovery. I note that we've also got some people here from, let's put a sun there, from the ACT Party. Dr. Pamjit Palmer, thank you very much for attending. And as people said in the House, you did shake the nation with your speech during the first reading. I've actually never seen the House. I've seen the House angry a lot of times, but I've never seen the House so excited before as well. So I wanted to acknowledge your contribution, and of course Cameron Brewer and other National Party MPs for the work that you've done getting the bill to this particular point in time. Politicians shouldn't get between you and your food, and I guess you'll all acknowledge that the longer that we make you wait, the hungrier you will get, and the less likely you will be to vote for us at the next election. So, and also to acknowledge that as I pass the microphone on to different representatives from each one of the political parties to thank the community, that we should try to keep the contributions briefed so that we don't get between people and their food. And also noting, members of Parliament, we are in the house of the Lord. And so the truth is paramount here in this place. So without further ado, may I call on the Vavaso Manaia, the Right Honourable Winston Peters, to share some perspectives.
Kia ora, tēnā koutou katoa. It wasn't the intention of making a speech here tonight because we've got a whole lot of functions all clashing with this one. But I thought for a brief moment we would talk and share things with you. You know, they say about politicians, they shake your hand before the election and your confidence after it. Or in some cases, they'll double cross that bridge when they come to it. And the exciting thing about this proposal was that it made a whole lot of sense, even belatedly all these years later. And there was an agreement across the whole House to do not what is called justice, but something far more important, to do what is right. So we're proud to be part of it. We don't take any other credit than being experienced enough to understand common sense when we see it. And it's still a work in progress. Look, we can't go on much longer because, as I say, the tolerance for someone speaking too long, given their food is on the table behind me, will be very, very short in stock if I don't stop now. But it is our pleasure and our privilege to be here amongst Pacific people who share a thing called democracy, believe in the rule of law, believe in freedom, and believe in the right to worship the God of our choice. So thank you very much for the chance to be with you briefly. I want to apologise for having to go, but not being expelled, going on my own, on my own wish. And thank you for a lovely brief time together, and all the best going forward. Kia ora tātou. It would be the tradition for us to reply with a waiata. But remember that famous American cowboy called Clint Eastwood? He said a man's got to know his limitations.
Okay, can I ask the Labour Party to share some perspectives as well? And then what we're going to do is we're going to go through the different political parties, and then that part will wrap up.
Talofa lava, and I apologise. We have just had the prayer for the food, but you are going to have to feast on our words before we eat the real food. It's a privilege to be here, and we haven't had the opportunity to acknowledge each and every one of you in this room. Today we have our church leaders, our community leaders, we have academics, we have health leaders, we have our youth leaders, and all of you are who made this happen. With the big actor being our colleague, the Green Party MP, Teanau Tuiono. For those that don't know me, I'm Carmel Sepuloni. I'm the Deputy Leader of the Labour Party, and I stand with my two sisters, Jenny Salesa and Barbara Edmonds. This is a moment of celebration for our community. My father just turned 80 and we celebrated his birthday on the weekend. He is of that generation that was impacted by this legislation. And I will always be grateful as a New Zealand-born Samoan Tongan Palangi for the hard work, the struggles that that generation, many of this in this room, had to endure. We are your children. We are, in many ways, the recognition of the dream that our parents came with, that we would be sitting at the decision-making tables, that we would no longer be sweeping the factory floors, which so many of our parents did. And it is because of all of you that we are in this position that we are in now. But we know that even though we have the support of our Samoan community, our Pasifika community, there are also expectations of us. And our role is to serve our families and communities. And today we are very honoured that we have had the privilege of doing that by supporting the passing of this bill. So I will end there because I know you don't want to feast on our words, you want to feast on the food. And just say to each and every one of you, "Whaktai te le lava," and we will continue to honour our role of serving you and working with you. Mahalo.
And if I could maybe ask Cameron Brewer on behalf of the National Party. I notice the speeches are getting shorter because people might be getting hungry.
I don't know if they are. Greg, can you come up too? Talofa lava. Cameron Brewer's my name. I'm a National MP. You heard plenty from us in the House. Is it too late, Greg Fleming, Mangakekea MP, is it too late to apologise for voting against this bill in the first reading? I'm going to say it, we don't like saying it in the House, but sorry. We actually thought that our friends in the ACT Party and the New Zealand First were also going to vote against it, and they surprised us. So we've had to tighten up on coalition management. So when we get up on our feet, we know how the others are going to vote. So you'll see a tighter reined ship, and so it's taught us a valuable lesson. So thank you so much for your generosity. Since that first reading back in April, and all the submissions we heard at Jet Park and in the Select Committee room in Parliament House. We really appreciate your generosity, your patience and your graciousness. So thank you. Let's keep in touch. If you can't get that website working, Carmel's got a very effective electorate office. As has Jenny. No, contact just to finish the public service announcement, contact your local MP, because you people, your grandparents, your aunts and uncles, your neighbours, your cousins have waited way too long. We don't want you in an internet queue. So please contact your local MP if there's any hold-ups or any problems. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that. And thank you also for spilling the company secrets. The opposition MPs know this now. May I call on Pamjit Palmer on behalf of the ACT Party just to share a few reflections?
Talofa lava, greetings everyone. It's a real privilege to be here with you all to celebrate this historic moment. It's really great to see that all parties in the House supported this bill. I want to pay respect to this holy place, and I want to also thank the way this celebration was started with a prayer. As I was talking to some of you, you said this is a time to thank the God. And so this has happened. And I think it will continue to happen while the process continues. As an immigrant, I know when we leave half of our family behind, we are always worried about them. Because parents, when we were growing up, obviously they were working hard to look after us, to feed us, to ensure that we are able to achieve what we wanted to achieve. They made all the sacrifices. They didn't care about themselves. They didn't think about saving for their retirement. They didn't make any compromises in the things that they provided us while they were looking after us. So when we grow up, it becomes our responsibility to look after our parents when they are fragile, when they are old. And I think this bill will give opportunity to many, many of you to bring your parents, your grandparents, those who will qualify, to be with you and give you the opportunity to enjoy those moments of looking after them, and also them seeing how you're doing in your life, because I know they have missed so much by not being with you all. I was talking to Fuama Rita before, and she had tears in her eyes, and I see many of you have been wiping your tears. And she said she's going to break this news to her parents in Samoa and will start the application process from next week. But the good thing about these tears is that these tears are tears of happiness. Thank you to each and every one of you. Really grateful to see all my parliamentary colleagues here, the High Commissioner, His Excellency. Great to see you as well. It has been a real privilege, and on behalf of our leader, David Seymour, and the entire ACT team, I want to wish you all best of luck. It's great to receive all the love that you have given me. Thank you.
Whakaya MPs, thank you for sticking to your time frame. I just want to give a special acknowledgement to the Māori Party who aren't here with us because of prior commitments, but we just want to acknowledge them for their support from the very first intention that we had to bring this bill into the House. Now, I would like to call upon His Excellency Awhamasanga Tole Afoa for his address. Lawa Fionga. O lo wawa lea.
O le saunoanga le High Commissioner o Samoa e kari foi kau tine kai kai o le pakire nga venga ka kupiki. Ai whapenga foi o nga acknowledge ai saunoanga o mai o fai. E le koi isi sina o le saunoanga la Samoa.
Okay. I've just come back from Samoa, where I went for you probably all heard about the Jogom meeting. And only a few days ago I came back. That's why I'm wearing this. I'm feeling the cool Wellington wind out here. But in any case, as you heard, I've been asked by our community to say a few words, to acknowledge and to extend our appreciation, the appreciation of the Samoan community, to all those who had a part in a very happy outcome that we are celebrating this evening. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge the Honourable Deputy Prime Minister, Vavasa Mālaia, Winston Peters, I think is here somewhere. Okay, anyway, thank you, sir, for your support. And thank you for also honouring us with your presence here this evening. I'd also like to acknowledge, obviously, we heard many of the members of Parliament who played a big part, obviously, in the outcome that we are celebrating. I cannot name all of you by name, I'm sorry. I haven't gotten to know you that well, but all the members of Parliament are members of the Green Party, maybe to begin with, starting, of course, I leave Teanau out because I think he deserves a very special word at the end. But for the members of the Green Party, we thank you for your support. I really don't think that we can express in words enough the gratitude and a sense of joy that you've given the Samoan community. So I thank you, as I said, on behalf of the community. The other members of Parliament, National Party members, and I think you did, I saw you and heard you speak, but in time I'm going to have to learn about the names and get to know you a lot more. But again, on behalf of the Samoan community, I would like to express our sincere and heartfelt gratitude for your part in this. We know it's, as you said, it's been a long time coming. But I think with your support and your goodwill, and you get talking about, justice and correcting something that maybe wasn't right at the beginning. So with that, we appreciate that very much, and thank you. And of course, wish you well in your role as members of parliament and leaders of this country, and of course of the Pacific, including Samoa. I think for Teanau, I think he deserves a very special word of thanks. I remember when Teanau, Honourable Teanau, came to the office for the first time. It seems a long time ago, but he was looking for ways that he can reach the community. Now I said to him, we are a diplomatic mission here, and we cannot get involved in politics. But what we can do is to help you reach the community, and then you can talk to them. We're not gonna, we just make the contact for you. And of course, it's been a while, and I can't imagine the time and the effort and the work that Honourable Teanau has put into this exercise, him and his staff and members of his party. We appreciate your work, and hopefully at some point later on after this, maybe next week, we will have an opportunity to also meet you especially. And we will speak about that before our people from Auckland leave. So again, thank you all very much, those who have had a big part in the celebration that we're doing, and with the bill that's come out of it. So we thank you for that. To our community, I also want to express the support of our own office for the work that you put in. And you have done a tremendous amount of work. Is it 200 and something submissions that were made? 23,000, 23, 24. Yeah, it gets higher and higher. Anyway, thank you for that. And I think you've seen the... and I was very pleased today to hear the members of parliament who had a part in what has happened mention that dedication and patience by our community. So I congratulate you and thank you for your part in this exercise. We hope in the future that we will continue to do that. You will excuse me for speaking in English. When we meet on our own, I will do the Samoan part. Anyway, I think there are other, I might have missed somebody, but as I said, my part is really to express the gratitude of the Samoan community for the part that many of you here played in getting to the result that has made everybody happy today. And again, Afa and I, all right, I think we've got one or few others. I may have forgotten somebody. Please excuse me for that. I think it's something to do with old age, getting old. But anyway, I wish you all well in your endeavors. So once again, thank you for the opportunity, and God bless.
Whafkaelo sa noanga la wafionga afamasanga leo wa saungi mai le kaupou. O renge wa e kali ai le sua leo wa ko akele leo wa o. Ia. Taualunga o lo ava lea.
Ole po kalame mai a tuyono. E mga o fai mai langa lela ka pe mga ola e fai se siva fa umai. Fa ko akadi lau ko sua. I mal fa lo lava o lan pese.
Whafkaya, thank you to everyone. Now it's time to eat. Yeah. I'd like to ask those of our parliament and our elders to please help yourselves.
Don't forget the member of parliaments are due back at 7 or 7:30. So please, it is time for dinner.
Na wafionga.
Sounds good.